All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready. I would now like to introduce you to the Arizona Rose Youth Theater production of A Christmas Carol.
It was Christmas time in London. There was a man named Ebenezer Scrooge. He was a hard-working man, but at the same time, he was a miserable, greedy, cruel, and stingy person who didn't even know what generosity meant. A day before Christmas, Scrooge and his clerk, Bob Cratchit, were working in the office. Scrooge, as always, was counting his money, while Bob was counting the minutes to go home to his family.
I am so cold in this office, but Mr. Scrooge doesn't want to turn on the heater. He says that it's a waste of money.
Suddenly, the front door opened, and Mr. Scrooge's nephew came inside.
Merry Christmas, Uncle. Christmas? Bah! Christmas is only a lie.
You don't mean that, Uncle.
Of course I mean that. Christmas is just an excuse not to work. Besides, what reason do you have to be happy? You're so poor.
Come on, Uncle. And what reason do you have to be so sad? You're so rich.
Bah!
Don't get angry, Uncle.
Why wouldn't I? I live in a crazy world with fools. Merry Christmas. What is Christmas? It's just a time to pay bills with money you don't have, where you see yourself a year older and not a minute richer. A time where you buy gifts you can't afford.
But Uncle,
Nephew, go celebrate Christmas your own way and let me celebrate my way.
but Uncle, I know that there are some things I didn't do right, some things that I didn't take advantage of, and one of those things is Christmas. Christmas is the only day where people seem to get along just fine. It's time for forgiveness, love, and charity. It's a time where people open their hearts to one another. Maybe, Uncle, Christmas hasn't given me a gold or silver coin, but it does good to me. That's why I say, blessed be Christmas.
Wow, what a wonderful speech. I wonder why you don't work for the government.
Don't get angry, Uncle. Come to our house tomorrow. My wife and I are preparing a delicious dinner. You'll be our special guest.
Thanks, but no.
But why, Uncle?
Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Have a nice day.
But Uncle, you never came to my house before, and you're using my marriage as an excuse. That's no fair.
Have a nice day.
I don't need anything from you. I don't ask you for something. Why can't we be friends?
Have a nice day.
I'm sorry, Uncle, that you already took a decision, but I insist in celebrating Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Have a nice day, a Happy New Year, and goodbye.
As you wish, Uncle. And Bob, have a Merry Christmas.
I wish the same to you. Goodbye.
Then Mr. Scrooge's nephew left the office.
How about that? A clerk who earns the minimal salary with a wife and kids talking about Merry Christmas. You must be crazy.
Sir, I have finished copying all the letters and filed the paperwork. I also brought in more firewood and swept out the ashes. And, well, it's closing time, Mr. Scrooge.
Fine, if your work is finished, you can go now.
Mr. Scrooge, tomorrow is Christmas, a day to spend with family.
You'd like the day off, I suppose?
Well, yes, Mr. Scrooge. After all, it's Christmas.
Christmas? Bah! Fine, take tomorrow off, but be here early the next day.
Yes, sir. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge.
Humbug.
Scrooge opened the door, and Cratchit went home. Then Scrooge returned to his desk to finish his accounts. After a few hours, Scrooge closed his accounts books and proceeded to close the office. When he got home, he climbed up the steps to his bedroom, sat in a chair beside the fire, and started to eat his supper. Suddenly, he heard old bells ringing. And a strange and loud noise coming from the outside.
Who's making that noise? I must have fallen asleep.
But the strange noise continued until he saw a ghost coming through the bedroom door.
I think I'm dreaming.
No, this is not a dream.
I know you. You are Marley. What do you want from me?
I want a lot from you. Do you see these chains? I am chained to my sins.
What sins? You are a hard worker and a good businesswoman.
Businesswoman, I took advantage of people while I was alive. I never learned the Scrooge. I am here tonight to warn you. You still have the opportunity to change. And if you don't, the same fates await you. Listen well, Scrooge. 3 spirits will visit you. First will arrive tomorrow when the clock strikes 1. Expect the second on the second night at the same hour. Third on the next one at the last stroke of the 12th hour.
Then the ghost left the room, floating through the window. Scrooge closed the window and went to his bed, shaking in fear, and fell asleep. Next day, when the clock struck 1, Scrooge saw a strange creature beside his bed.
Who are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past. Get out of bed and come with me.
The ghost took Scrooge through time to a small town which Scrooge started to remember. Then he remembered the houses, the church, the river, the bridge, and the people.
They cannot see us or hear us. They are just shadows from the past.
Look, the school is not that empty. There's a little boy, alone, forgotten by his friends. I know him, poor boy.
Now let's see another Christmas.
Then they arrived at a house.
This house seems familiar. Oh, this is my house, where I grew up.
Yes, it is. And do you recognize that little boy sitting alone, reading?
It's me as a child, but why is he alone?
You must know the answer.
Because my parents were working. That is why I was always alone. That is why my Christmases were so sad and lonely.
Come, take my hand. We don't have enough time.
No, I have seen enough. Go away. Don't torture me.
Don't blame me. I told you these were shadows of things that have been.
Take me back.
We have one more stop to make. Our time is running out.
And they appeared in a garden. Scrooge was now a young man who was sitting in the garden beside a lovely young woman, but the woman was crying.
I can't marry you, Ebenezer. That's something you love more than me.
Nonsense. I love no other woman.
That's true. You love money. You love it more than anything.
There's nothing wrong in loving money. We got engaged when we were poor, and we were happy being poor.
I hope you're happy with the life you have chosen.
And the woman ran away from the garden. Old Scrooge and the ghost followed her. When she stopped, Scrooge could see that she was a few years older. Children laughed and played at her feet. A little girl threw her arms around the woman and gave her a kiss.
Are they her children?
Yes, they are. But they could have been yours.
The door opened, and a man entered, carrying many gifts.
Father!
They ran to him and hugged him. The man laughed and gave them the gifts. Then he hugged and kissed his wife.
Stop. Take me home.
And Scrooge appeared in his own bedroom.
Thank goodness. It was a dream.
Then the clock struck.
No, Ebenezer, it wasn't a dream.
I suppose you are the ghost of Christmas present.
Yes, I am. I am the ghost of Christmas present. I have much to show you. Grab onto my rope. Hurry. We cannot be late.
Scrooge touched the hem of the spirit's robe. The bedroom vanished, and Scrooge found himself on a busy, snowy street. There were many people shopping for last-minute gifts. The stores were still open. People were cooking their best meals, and the bells from the church were striking. Everybody was attending church, wearing their best clothes, and everybody was happy.
Everybody looks so happy.
Yes, they are. It's Christmas. What do you expect?
Do you mean that they're all happy just because it's December 25th?
Yes. Today they can forget their problems and just enjoy being with their families. They just enjoy their food on their tables and the many blessings they receive.
Then the ghost took Scrooge to Bob Cratchit's house, and standing there at the door, the ghost proceeded to bless the house. Then Scrooge saw Bob Cratchit playing with his children.
Is this where he lives?
Of course, with his salary, this is all he could afford.
Then Miss Cratchit entered into the dining room carrying a small turkey on a platter.
They look so poor. Their clothes are so old.
Love is what you can feel here.
Bob Cratchit lifted the youngest boy from a chair in the corner and carried him to the table. The boy was pale and thin and carried a crutch.
What's wrong with him? Why doesn't he walk?
She's very sick. Her name is Tiny Tim, and his parents don't have any money for a doctor, so maybe she'll die.
Die? But there must be something that can be done. Please tell me if he will die.
I see an empty chair in the corner. If the future's not changed, he'll certainly die!
No! No!
What do you care anyway? Don't diminish the world population!
At that moment, Scrooge realized that those were his own words and felt sorry for himself. Then he heard his name.
Mr. Scrooge. Thanks to Mr. Scrooge for not having us today.
I wish I could see him to thank him personally.
Dear children, it's Christmas.
I know, darling. I hope he has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Let's have a toast for our Christmas and for Mr. Scrooge. Merry Christmas and God bless us all.
Meanwhile, it was getting late. The ghost took Scrooge to different places so he could see how people celebrated Christmas. People who nevertheless were poor, as Scrooge used to say. They were happy and enjoyed being together with their families and friends. Suddenly, without a warning, they stood in a room.
I know that voice. It's my nephew. He's having a party.
He said that Christmas was only a lie. He's very funny, but not a pleasant person.
You told me that he was very rich.
So what, darling? His wealth is useless. He doesn't do anything with his money. He didn't come to eat with us tonight because he was busy counting his money. Ha ha ha. He preferred to be angry at us than to have fun with us.
They don't like me.
No, unless the future changes.
How can I change the future?
The room disappeared, and they continued their journey. They visited many countries. They traveled to faraway lands. They visited sick people who felt happy, poor people who felt rich, shelters where people felt hope. It was a long night, and everything happened in just one night. Then, the ghost of Christmas present was gone.
Oh, I'm in my own bed again.
As he sat up, another ghost floated into the room. He was dressed in black, and a dark hood hid his face.
Who are you? First came the ghost of Christmas past, then the ghost of Christmas present. You must be the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Are you here to show me the future and how it can change?
The ghost said nothing. He just gestured towards the door. Scrooge followed him to the street in front of his office. Two men stood up front, talking and shaking their heads.
I know them. I do business with them. We're friends. These men like me, even if my own nephew does not. But what are they saying about me?
Poor old Scrooge. I know. I feel sorry for him. They told me he's very sick. Who's taking care of him? No one. You know that he always liked to be alone. He doesn't have friends either.
The ghost started wailing, and Scrooge followed him down the street. Then they arrived to a tiny house.
We have been here before. This is Cratchit's house.
The ghost took Scrooge into the bedroom. There was Mr. Bob Cratchit sitting beside his son's bed. He was very sick.
Why is he crying? The last time I was here, they were so happy.
Sleeping in bed was the little kid, but he was thinner and very pale. Miss Cratchit came into the bedroom.
What are we going to do? Did you ask Mr. Scrooge for help?
Yes, but he can't help us. But his nephew will help us.
I hope it's not too late. What will we do without our son?
Why? Tell me what's wrong with the little boy. Is he going to die? What can I do to help him? Please talk to me.
The ghost did not answer. Then everything turned dark, and Scrooge appeared in a foggy and cold place.
Where are we? This is a cemetery. Why did you bring me here?
The ghost showed Scrooge a grave.
Before I get near that grave, Tell me, is that the image of what it will be, or just the image of what can be?
The ghost did not answer. Then Scrooge went to see the grave. Engraved on the headstone was the name, Ebenezer Scrooge. Then Scrooge fell to his knees.
No, no, ghost, listen to me. I have changed. Why do you show me all of this if I have lost all hope? Please tell me that I can change everything that you have shown me. I will honor Christmas in my heart. I will live in the past, in the present, and in the future. I will not forget the lessons that all of the ghosts have taught me. Oh, please tell me that I can erase my name from that grave.
In his anguish, he took the ghost's hand, but the ghost rejected him, and Scrooge woke up in his own bed.
Oh, thank you. I have been given another chance. I don't know what today is today, or how long I have been with the ghosts. I feel like a child, but I don't care. I want to be a child again.
Then he heard the church bells striking. Then he saw a little boy in the street and shouted,
Oh, wonderful. Hey, you there. What day is today?
It's Christmas, sir. Early Christmas morning.
Good. I haven't missed it.
Then he pulled out a bag of money. He tossed a handful of coins to the boy.
There's a big, juicy turkey in the butcher shop window at the end of the street. Buy it and deliver it to the Bob Cratchit's house.
But sir, this is a lot of money.
Keep the change. Hurry up. The Cratchits are hungry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, little boy,
Yes, sir.
have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir, and Merry Christmas to you too.
Scrooge dressed in his finest clothes and headed towards his nephew's house. He was feeling really happy and excited. He waved to everybody in the street and treated everybody nicely.
Here, kid, take this money and buy some Christmas candy.
Thank you, sir.
Merry Christmas.
When Scrooge reached his nephew's house, his nephew was surprised to see him.
Uncle, I'm happy to see you. I'm really glad that you changed your mind about Christmas dinner. Come and celebrate the holiday with us.
Yes, thank you for accepting me.
His nephew's wife set an extra plate at the table.
We're happy to have you here. You've arrived just in time for the turkey.
After dinner, Scrooge said a few words.
Thank you. I have never eaten a more delicious meal, but I have to go now. I have some other things to do and people to visit.
And Scrooge headed toward Bob Cratchit's house. Miss Cratchit opened the door. She couldn't believe her eyes when she saw Mr. Scrooge standing in front of her.
Oh, Mr. Scrooge, what a surprise. I want to thank you for the wonderful turkey.
It was a pleasure for me.
Mr. Scrooge, please come in.
Cratchit, you've worked long hours without complaining for many years. I am raising your salary and I will also help you support your family.
Thank you, Mr. Scrooge. You're so generous.
Merry Christmas.
Scrooge did more than he said he would do. He took care of Tiny Tim like a second father would do. Some people laughed to see how he changed, but he didn't care. Scrooge never saw the ghost again, but he had many friends and was always close to his family. Each time he had a meal with his friends and family, he would say,
God
bless us! God bless us, everyone!
Applause for the Arizona Road Youth Theater. You guys did a great job. Thank you all so much for coming today and doing that and supporting Santa's workshop by doing that today. You guys were amazing. Thank you.